Yo, so I have been battling these lower links just back and forth with myself, where I want them, how I want them, and I've kind of figured it out finally, and I think I'm super happy with it. So as you can see, the clearance work on the diff we did was perfect and needed, so I can capture and get to that bolt and nut. And you can also see I wanted to catch that lower link a little bit below the center line of this tube, so that's exactly where we're at. And then this link here, we finally got it in a sweet spot where I can get the hardware out. So I wish I could get that son of a beast up farther, but I don't think it's gonna cause me any issue, because hitting a rock here, you have an upper link, so you're already blocked off here, but this will allow me to slide, hit this heim, and come right off into my boat side. And I actually run a 1/2 inch thick piece of plastic on my boat side, so that might level us out a little bit there, but this is also keeping my heim low where I need it to keep my separation exactly how I want it. So lots of thinking, lots of freaking trial and errors, and now I'm ready to do this side. So I'm gonna get this side set up exactly where I want it, and then I'm gonna continue working on the front suspension. I'm gonna work on the upper link, and as you guys have been following along, you can see Matt's got the motor mounts on both sides, the plates figured out, and working on the tubes. So all in all, we're making progress. All in all, it's turning out kind of exactly how I wanted it. So I am an artist by heart, you guys, and it's like when I'm doing art, I'll rip the page, throw it away, do it again. Rip the page, throw it away, do it again. And same thing with my building. So unfortunately, it takes a little bit of time, but that's fine. We love it. I love it, and that's what keeps the fire going, to build stuff. And like this one, this is a Yoshi with a U-door. Customer asked if we could put a U-door in. I said absolutely. So anyways, we like to make things happen here. And you can also see where I clearance that diff right there, and it's perfect for that tube. So really cool. Our driveline's gonna go swing right into place. And that was a lot of my problem, is I know the driveline is gonna droop down, and I'm really trying to build it with a one-piece driveline in the front. I know that's a long driveline. Unfortunately, that's about where I can get it. I really wish I could move this axle even closer. And so I think on the next car, we will probably miter this belly and leave this whole lower section off, and that way we can bring this axle in. But yeah, for this build, I think it's perfect. I love it. So I'm gonna get this other one set up, tacked in, and move on. So right here, you guys, I've got the passenger side set. And with it being set on the table, everything in place, you can catch a degree on the link itself, which, being on a solid surface flat like this, you can just match the link setup over here, get the link where you need it, match the same angle, and your tab should be appropriate. So that's kind of how I go about it. It's worked for me for years, and we're still doing it that way now. So more, and I think we're gonna get it. You guys are probably wondering why I'm using this old school level. That's because I like the old school stuff. Matt uses his phone. I do that often too, but that one's always just been exactly right. So now that I've got that set up, I'm going to square the axle up just a little bit, find the center, and as long as the tabs on the bottom links go on the axle the same way, you don't have to worry about being centered, because when you do the uppers is when you will find center and set that. So a lot of people trip out on the math and moving the axle too much and this and that. As long as you're, you know, relatively close to your center, you can set your lower links, and as long as they're on the axle the same way, you can move it around and center it up when you do your uppers. So I'm gonna.
There we have the driver's side motor mount done, well, ish. I need to weld it out and everything, but now all I gotta do now is just come up with the tabs and a little box plate, make it nice and strong. But yeah, that's basically what I came up with, just a little band in it, and the other side will be really similar, but obviously we have a lot more going on, so it's going to be even tighter of a bend on this one. Let me come up like this. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on these tabs, get them tucked in and set in place, or cut out and set in place, and then I'll jump over to the other side and do the same thing. Alright, so you guys seen me weld out the tabs. Now that the outside of the tabs are welded out, I'm good to pull the plate and bushing out. And then what I'll do, there's a piece of tube inside here that goes between. Anyways, I'll mock it back up with this little thin washer and bolt this down, and then I'll weld the inside so that that's out of the way. And then I'll go ahead and get everything on this all welded out, and we got some socket head hardware to replace it with, and so we'll go back together with some socket head hardware.
So Matt's smashing and getting those motor mounts done, and it is looking super cool. And in the meantime, I've got the lower link done on this side, and I've been working on the upper link. So we've got the brackets cut out, weld washers on, and I'm bolted together. And we've actually got a really trick idea we're gonna do here, and I can't wait to show you, but I'm not gonna let you know just yet. So we'll get these welded on and then do that. You can see Matt got that as tight as he could. It is super sick, you guys. And they always say welders get in the best position, so here's your living proof. All right, you guys, we're right in the middle of doing the buggy, and Matt's doing the passenger side motor mount. I'm gonna show you that, but first we had John Show swinging down the freeway, and we noticed last time he was here that he had a big ass crack right here. So we just got him welded up, put some gussets on, and we're gonna kick him back onto the freeway so we can keep on making money. But just like that, we can kind of help people out whenever they need you guys. But I've got the upper bracket laid out on the top and on the chassis, and Matt is working on the passenger side motor mount, and he's kind of matching the same look as the driver, which I think is super sick. So he's over here fitting it, and Show them what you got, bud.
Tube.
Tube.
2 tubes.
And that's inch and a quarter, yeah?
Yeah.
120 wall. So you can see it matches the same over here. On these motors, they're not very heavy. Not only that, like, you don't need a whole bunch of stuff to mount these things. We might, at a later date, when we get some more tube and structural here, we might catch something on the back of the motor, on the back of the head on one side, just to try mount it. But other than that, we've got the bushes are all running the exact same way. That way everything kind of floats on the same plane and vibrates on the same bushing plane. Really big fan of that. And we've also got our upper links. We're gonna do inch and a quarter times on the lower and upper back here, but we've got the links from one of our really good friends, Jolene, up in Salt Lake City. So I've been going to her since I was like 16 years old, you guys, and she's really killing it and doing her thing. But we've got a full set of aluminum links right from her, machined with her name on here. It's gonna work out great for our uppers. It's gonna be aluminum back here, and our lowers are aluminum up front. But the other cool thing is our uppers in the front are gonna have a bend, and the lowers in the rear are also gonna have a bend. So I'm getting excited about that, to show you guys that. And other than that, the only other thing that we kind of did special is these bolts we were having a really hard time getting to where the hardware could come out. So I ended up taking these to a friend local here in town and had him machine these down for us. And I think he took 100 thou off both sides, and it really sucked us in tight. The other issue was right here. I needed to be real narrow right here. So he helped us out. And the way I mount my Heims, they're literally just straight. So the only movement they see is this way. They don't even see the misalignment spacer. So technically I could probably TIG weld that bad boy together and just call it done, but we're not gonna do that.
I want to see you TIG weld it.
Maybe one day, bud. You can see right there, he's got that bad willy. There and there. Just gonna throw a tack on it. And earlier when I was telling you guys, oh, let's catch Matt getting this first. You need me to hold it, bud? Sometimes it's easier to just hold it by your damn self, you guys. Sometimes it's nice to have a hand. So me and Matt constantly asking each other, do you need a hand? Nope, I got it. You need a hand? Yep. Because I can tack it if you want to hold it. My hood's right here. He's going for it again. He's got it. That is exactly why Matt usually wears this, you guys. Oh man, good time here, you guys. So I'm trying to really get these uppers on tonight is my main goal, and Matt's doing a good job getting the motor completely mounted. So Jonathan's hooked up to his trailer and on his way out. So feels good to be able to help guys out, especially when they're on the freeway and a long ways from home, you know. So that was cool. Yeah, bud.
Oh, it's a little high.
It's all right. Unless you're gonna be anal and match your other side. But you can see on the side view right there, you guys, I've got these upper brackets are basically just smooth with the bottom of the car. And you can also see how the seating position is sitting flat and the slider goes downhill. That's not only for my legs to stretch out, but I think that's going to be a really cool trick in the rocks, because when you come up on a rock and your car's flat, it's going to help slide the car forward, and if you're climbing, it's also going to help push the car over stuff. So a couple little things, again, back to the RC world and just really testing and tuning these cars to see what we can do, and then blowing them up so I can sit in one and drive it. Just like that, you guys. Matt did magic and pulled some tabs out of his sleeve.
Abracadabra.
And boom, you got them bolted on, and they're gonna get tacked on right there. So as you can see, just like the other side, tucked up high, small bend in it, and really just getting this motor locked in. So and I brought these tires in. I wanted to roll them up just so I could kind of get a feel for the car. And here you guys go. I'll just let you get a peep at the rear. So you can see the rear's, you know, the wheelbase is going to be 115. So it's a little bit longer than my last car. But you can also see where the links are going to be super long to that rear end. And then we'll have a bend in them right at the start of the appropriate size tire. So we'll be gearing up for that probably real soon, but I've got to get a couple parts ordered up to make that happen, and we'll do that. But I'm gonna go ahead, and now that Matt's got that tacked up and in place, I'm gonna get the front upper measured and get it figured out. A really cool thing too, we ended up measuring bolt hole to bolt hole on the bottom link 38 bolt hole on the upper basically 38, drive line center to center 38. So just kind of know what I'm doing. All right, you guys, we are back at it, and we got the upper links all put on, and of course, you know, already we've got a box plate. So I've cut out a box plate for that, and it's gonna be a super tall beefy tower, you guys, so not sweating it there. And then Matt is currently pulling the upper links, and he's gonna get those TIG welded. We're gonna throw some TIG on the steel links just to really penetrate some heat in there, keep it really clean, and we all love TIG. So he's also got the passenger side motor mount welded up and cooling off. So while he's doing that, I'm gonna get the rub rails for the upper part of the chassis installed. So I basically just cut out some 1/2-inch rod. You get it clamped up there, and you start putting some welds on it, and then bend it down with a hammer. So I'll do both sides of those. We're also going to throw on some roof tabs and just kind of knock out some of the small things while we can, and also some of the things that doesn't get in the way of building other things. So we've also got to put some weld washers on these lowers. Now that we've got everything exactly where we love it, we can kind of make some more plans. So we're gonna get caught up with ourselves where we're at, get everything welded, dialed in, and kind of keep moving on. So
you guys watch me weld out the first link. This is the second upper, and I tried something new. It doesn't look amazing, but for the first time, not terrible. That's walking the cup. You take, here, I'll kind of show you guys. So we got torch, or TIG torch, and that right there is the cup. So how it works, basically just walk that cup along that joint, and it's difficult, but first time doing it on some tube. Didn't turn out terrible, not as bad as I thought it'd be, but we got this one all done and just letting it cool down. Gonna put heims in it here in a second. So what we do after we weld out our links, hurry and pull the heim so then it doesn't cool in the link, and then it'll be there forever. What we like to use is just a little bit of anti-seize. Only need about that much. About, if I can do this one-handed, it's about that much. And then as it threads in, it's gonna spread it up. So that's just what we like to do, but I'm gonna let that cool off. I might even hit it with some air, get it cooled down, put those in, put it back in the car.
All right, you guys, super excited. We finally got our packages for the new car, and super excited. We got some custom seats made, and we are partnering with PRP, you guys. So if you guys are looking for any of their product, make sure you hit us up. We can lead you the right way. But I have made a ton of moves on this, you guys, and I've totally forgot to carry the camera with me. And that's the biggest part about YouTube, and really is just the camera part of it, you know. We're trying to really work on doing better with the videoing of it, but honestly, we're just old school, kind of raw. You see it where it's at. So anyways, let me catch you guys up on this. We have got the gas tank mounted in the car. And the way I did it is I basically took a tube across the bottom trunk section and straight across. But I've kind of done it in a way where I wanted the aluminum and the gas tank to sit inside of it. So I made it a little wide. There's tabs underneath here. So it was just a lot of math to figure out exactly where I wanted the tank to sit and be able to clear the bolt holes here and on the front. So you can see, once I center that up, it's like, boom, I'll drill a hole through both of those, bolt it, drill a hole through both of those and bolt it. So we got that all done. We got the gas tank straps. I was gonna use aluminum. I really like the fact of using aluminum, and I made a set of those, and I was just like, man, these seem light. You know, and a lot of the times I build a car, I think of the car upside down. So if this car goes upside down and you got some aluminum straps in there with a couple bends, it's kind of weak. And you do it a couple times, you might lose a strap. So I ended up going with some 1/8 inch steel, and it worked out really good. And as you can see, they're a little more weight, but in this case, I'm not worried about it, but the strength is what I was worried about. So we've got the strength back in the car to hold the tank. And I also put on the gas tank, when I mount gas tanks in cars, I always do a piece of aluminum underneath of it. And that's the reason of when you're going through trees and you're going through the brush, or even the rocks, you can get a rock that jams up in here, most likely a tree, and you don't want something to go through the bottom of your tank. So I always put a big piece of aluminum underneath. While I did that, the tank is strapped this way, so it's holding it this way, but nothing really holds it this way. So I went ahead and integrated a fold up on each side, which kind of holds the tank from side to side and forward backwards. We're solid there. So here comes the next trick part of this whole car. We've got the front dialed in. You guys kind of seen the process there. I am currently drawing all the box plates for all of the link tabs. These are 1/4 inch. We're gonna box them in with 3/16, put some drain holes. We've also got the driveline measured, and we're gonna be able to run a 1-piece driveline. And you can also see here, we're gonna even clear the bell housing. I was gonna have to cut that. It doesn't even look like it because I'm gonna pull the driveline over a little bit and we won't even get close to it. So I might clean it up just because that bugs the shit out of me. I might just put a nice straight edge down that. I'm gonna try to utilize this hole and this hole on the transmission for different things to mount off of, and you guys will see that later on in the video. You can also see we've got the upper links and lower links in the rear of the car now, you guys. Super freaking trick. And here's like one of the biggest things I was trying to get with this car is get this belly off of the ground. So as you can see, we're off the ground off the table about 1 inch, giving us like a 10-degree rake on this belly. And that goes right into our lower suspension. And check that out, you guys. This is currently sitting at full bump, and that is my rear lower link. It is 1 3/4 inch tube, 250 wall, solid. And you guys are probably wondering, well, what if the link rolls back and forth the Heims? Well, what I have done to accomplish less movement is I'm running a Summit machine joint on the back of the chassis. 1, they're solid. 2, they're super wide and they're thin. They're lower pro than the normal Heims I run 1 1/4 inch. So, and then the other thing is they don't have that much movement, which is going to keep my link from rolling all the way. This movement, good. when I hit a rock, I want the link to move over a little bit. We slide past the rock, we move on with life. And as you can see, we're also gonna get away with a one-piece driveline, I do believe. I'm gonna mock one up here in a little bit and just kind of see where we're at. But we're really moving along with this car. I need to take a breath. Super excited, but I'll pull you over on this side real quick. So right here you can see the upper link is all mocked up in with the lower, and as you guys can see, everything clears just right. So this is full bump in the rear. I've also made it so I like to build my cars to where if you were to lose a shock or a link on the trail, you could put your car full bump, sit it somewhere stable, ratchet strap it, and drive off the trail. That's how the OG was, that's how Atombot was, and that's how this prototype's gonna be. So if we lose any part of the car, I can drop this car down on the upper links, strap it down, and call it good. And same with the front, it will drop down on the axle, sit there, be a solid unit, and we can drive off the trail. But hopefully none of that ever happens, but I like to think of all cases, you know. The other really cool thing about this car is the belly and the sliders. You guys, I've got a really good rake on this slider that comes up to my seating position that's, you know, downhill about 2 degrees, and that's also going to help when the car's on different angles. It's going to help the car slide off this belly super dramatically. And if you look down the side of it here, it's all flat and round, and there's no way rocks can hit or catch anything on my cars. So there's a lot of other builders out there. They build a shelf, is what I call it, for their boat sides, and at any other angle than flat, it's a hang up spot. Literally, it just hangs the car up. So now you're working the car more to try to drive off of your chassis. So all of our cars come boat sided, super slick, super right in the rocks, you guys. You can't ever really get caught up on it, and it's like a lizard. You just move around, it slides off, and you keep moving. So anyways, I'm super excited about this car, super excited to bring it to you and show you guys. We got real tight gussets in the corners, and got the roof put on. Another thing with the roofs, a lot of guys will pull their roof over the tube and pound it down and make it look all, I don't know what you would call it, good in their eyes. The way I look at it is every time you hit your roof, you're gonna peel that aluminum up. And aluminum, if you know, gets sharp anytime you gouge it. And now when you go to get in your car, your hands get cut, your ladies' hands get cut, the kids get cut. So I'm always trying to think about everything. So you don't need the roof to come over the tube. So right here, what I did on the new car, as you can see, I run my roofs on the inside of the tube. That way you can't mess your roof up when you hit here. The other thing is when I go upside down, my tube is exposed, not aluminum. So hopefully that helps as well. I also leave this part open on my cars. That way when the car gets in a hole, down in a crack, a crevice, whatever, you can immediately see where you're at. The other big part of that is when you go to get in your car, you got a grab handle to get in the car. The other big part of that is when you roll over, you got a quick spot to throw your soft shackle and recover your car yourself or whatever. So you guys, when I build these cars, I've been doing it for about, 18 years now, and I've literally just studied rock crawling. I've gone out on the trails, I've been on the rocks, and I just really take it all in. I'm literally have lived for this, you guys, and I have a huge passion for it if you didn't already know. But the next moves on this car, get the freaking boxes on, get the steering mounted front and rear, get the drive lines here, we'll get those bolted on. And then the other thing I was excited about, check this out, you guys. PRP came through. We've got some bitchin' seats in here. We're about to open these bad boys and show you what we got. So you guys, we're gonna get these open and check them out. We actually had the opportunity to do like a custom seat. So I got to pick out the color, the trim, and the material. So that was really fun. And PRP builds your seat right there to custom order. So check this out, you guys. I wasn't real sure on how it would look, but here we are to see. I was pretty freaking excited. Oh boy, there's such a long bottom too, I like. You guys look at that, dude. It matches our merch, our FABN801 camo hats. You guys can find those on the website. But look at that, you guys, ostrich skin. I did a custom pocket on the front for my cell phone and other bad habits. Dude. Oh, freaking stoked. PRP, if you guys are looking for a seat, they can get you hooked up. They got a custom seat and everything. But I ended up going with the low back Roadsters because we needed some room in the car. So let's see what they look like in there, huh? Oh my gosh, couldn't have been any better, bro. They are such a long bottom. Put this one in the car and see what they look like together. That's freaking sweet, you guys. The quality is rad. The ostrich skin is cooler than I thought it would be, but throw it in. Almost longer there than the back.
It is longer there in the back.
Well, there you guys have it. The seats sit in there. They're actually gonna be the perfect size and give us some room. This car's a little wider than the Atom bot, and I wanted to do that so I could have some seating options. Looks like I'm gonna have all the room we need, so keep watching this video. It's gonna get rad. What'd you say?
Those look really good.
Those look good, you guys. This is Chelsea. She does all the YouTube editing. Make sure you give her a shout out in the comments. And if you don't, we'll spank your butt.
And $100.
$100. But yeah, man, check those out, you guys. We got the front pockets. And you can see with the width of those seats, I'm still going to have a ton of chassis room. And obviously those aren't even in place. So once I center it up, put my seating where I want my head to be in the car and get it all dialed in, then we'll be moving forward. But super exciting. Biggest part about building buggies, you guys, waiting on parts, affording parts, getting parts. So the sooner you start on your parts list, the quicker you can get that buggy done. Right, Chels?
That's right.
What's up, guys? I'm currently still going on the prototype buggy. So as you can see, it's 9:45. I'm solo in the shop right now, and we've got the chassis pulled up. That's because I'm adding a couple tubes. You're probably wondering why. POV view of how I do here. So these are the rear seat brackets. As you've seen, we got the seats earlier, and I've been so excited. I'm burning that late night oil. And as you can see here, we've got them sitting in there and exactly where I wanted them. So it's ostrich skin, tan ostrich skin for the butt, gray for the outer. We've added the pocket, we've got the camo, and I'm super impressed with the material they use. It looks just like Grandpa's army jacket, so I'm pumped on that. I'm gonna go ahead and double shear all of my seat brackets. So you can see right here, I've added the one tab. I was like, you know what, we're gonna make this King of the Hammers proof, just in case I wanna do that. But we're double tabbing all of the seat brackets. I got all of them double tabbed, except for the rear. I just cut out another set for the rear, and you can see I've already got the rear lowers in there, and they look super sweet and super wild. Though you can see I've also been playing with some shock mount ideas and such. But over here you can see the upper link. I've got that in here. I went ahead and got all of my box plates done as well, you guys. So I'm gonna box it top and bottom on the rears, and then on the chassis side everything will get box plated on the bottom, and again everything's flush, you know. Oh, excuse me, I swallowed wrong. I wanted to show you guys how tight that seat bracket is to the link. It's full bump here. We've got a piece of paper we can slide in there and a piece of paper we can slide in there. Again, I wanted to sit down below slider, and that's exactly what I did. The front is gonna be super cool. It's sitting about an inch above T-case and everything, and I'm gonna line everything up to where I can put a pin from this side all the way through the car to that side. And then on a later date, I'm gonna have our boy Matt TIG weld us some pins on the back. I'm gonna notch the tabs where these seats slide in and pull a pin. Super cool. Anyways, I'm gonna get after it. I'm gonna get these tabs put on and tacked in. I'm gonna put the camera down and let you watch the ride here. So basically gotta pull the bolt, which everything's just kind of hand tight. And when I do this, I was gonna put all the tabs on the I did put all the tabs on the inside of the seats. I really like doing that. That way the seat drops down over the tabs. But now that we're double plating everything, I run a washer between it. It gives us a little bit of a gap so the tabs aren't super tight. The hardware we're gonna be using on the whole car is grade 8. If you don't know the difference between your bolts, it's super easy to check out. And if you don't know, just go look at the TikTok, they'll show you. This is a grade 8 and you can tell by the identification on the head. Grade 5s are a little different. They've got 3 lines, super easy. It'd be funny to see if the Chinese men know that. So anyways, I gotta put the bolt through, I put a washer through, and then I put that through the tab. That allows me a little bit of clearance. That way with the next time I go to put the seat in, I don't have to fight it, because that will happen, I promise. The first time you guys build something, you bolt it all up, you tack it in, you go to weld it, you pull it apart, next thing you know, you can't get it apart because the damn thing is so tight. So you end up smacking it with a hammer, throws all your clearances off, such and such, on and on, whatever. But I gotta get under here and pull this one. You can also see I've got the rear diff put up in there and a driveline mocked up, and I'm well above my lower links. And again, these are bent, and so what I ended up doing is bending the driveline, bending the link to the same degree the driveline is on. And a lot of people are concerned about running a 2-piece. We don't even have to do that. 1-piece front, 1-piece rear. So that's gonna be super cool. I've almost got these tabs bolted up, and again, I like to run a washer between them because I've been trying to design another axle, which is going to be super cool when I get it done. But until then, I've been super fascinated with RC crawlers, and this whole car is basically inspired by that. So realistically, the first time I got into rock crawling was with an RC car. I mean, it was to the point where I was getting rocks and putting them in the backyard of my parents' house and sitting there crawling all freaking night. You know, that was of course until Dad came out and said, "Go to bed, we're night crawler hunting tonight," and he would spray the yard with water and get all the worms that come out, and then we'd go out at 2 in the morning and try to catch some guns for fishing, but that's a whole other story. So I've got both of these tabs on here, bolted up, both tabs here, bolted up, and as you can see, there's just a little bit of room, which I like, so I can come in here, hold it center, tack it, and then that also gives just a hair gap between tab and tube, really allowing the weld to sink in there, and we call that a full pin in the weld world. So let's go ahead and get this welder cranked on. God bless America. We're rocking the red, white, and blue tonight. Bingo. And I gotta be super careful. I don't want to burn the seats, but again, I don't want to pull the seats. So just be careful. Kind of hold your hand over, make a cup. Nothing can get burnt. So that's centered right there. I'm gonna center it there. Super quick, super dirty, doesn't even affect the seat, as you can see. A lot of people in the comments say, block that, blah. Weld that son gun, quit overthinking everything, dudes. Anyways, here we go, we're gonna get this one. It's a sit in center, right where it's at, nice and relaxed, just the way we like it. Tack that, and tack the top. And on this one, you can see basically I'll just cover the weld with my hand and make a cut. That way the weld hits my glove and inside the cup and not all over the place, you know? Super easy. So we've got those tacked in. I'm gonna get over, do the driver's side. I'm not gonna bore you with that process since I just rambled on and shown you that. The next step of order, now that we've got the seats in, I can kind of start designing the floor, the dash. I need to get a shifter ordered. If you guys have recommendations, put them in the comments. I've got a couple in mind. But the next order of business is getting steering on both of these axles. That way I can pull the axles out, get them fully welded properly, box everything in, and do that on the table and on a flat surface. So also with the rear, you can see I've got the box plates ready to go. I've got the upper box plates ready to go. But I really need to get designing on that steering. So order of business. You can also see I'm trying to keep everything really low and visible. So I've got a lot of planes here and just really having fun with it. So I'm gonna jam out that driver's side seating, double tabs, and I'll get back with you guys.